Okay, dudes, got another knife review for you. And what you are looking at in front of you is a failed EDC project. As you can see, the knife has a large steel blade and a massive solid steel handle. And I will get into all that as well as my babble points here in a moment. So let's jump right into the review, shall we? Okay. Here are my babble points, i.e., things I talk about. Ounces, weight, mass, density, heft, poundage, and bulk. That list right there, fellas, is what's going to cover it. So let's get started. Okay, like I said, I bought this knife for an EDC. I was going to use this in my loadout. And as you can see, these solid steel handle scales that you see right there, this thing is just too much of a burden to lug it around all day. There's just no way you're going to be in the woods, urban combat zones, and you're going to be able to carry this thing on your person, i.e., your pocket, and walk around with this all day. It's just too much. Now, dudes, what I'm going to tell you is what I'd like to see Spyderco do with something like this that would give the public and the military, i.e., guys in uniform, a little something more to have an option to be able to use this knife better. And I'm going to write Spyderco, and I'm going to ask them if they can change the configuration up a little bit. First, what I'd like to see Spyderco, I know you watch my videos, is I would like to see an option for paper mache handle scales. Paper mache tends to be very durable and has very low ounces. I dig it. Next, what I'd like to see done is take the Spidey hole and run it up the blade, skeletonize the blade, and drill out the excess metal. You don't need this here. See this, guys? This is a non-using portion of the knife. You could drill this out. I might put it on my drill press later. Get rid of some of this bulk weight in here. You don't need all this material. You're going to use the edge right there. So there's no reason for that. Paper mache handle scales would be amazing on this thing. Skeletonize the blade, and I think you'll find that a lot of the public would go for this. Now, there is a couple of downfalls and dangerous things that I'd like to tell you about this knife, if anyone's thinking about getting it. If you get this and you do decide to carry it around on your person, i.e. in your pocket, and let's say you go on a camping trip, and let's say you're feeling froggy and you say, okay, I'm going to carry this thing. Okay? Well, if you were near the water or you were near a pond and this is in your pocket and you fall in the water, this thing is going to sink you straight to the bottom. Okay, you might want to keep that in mind. So if you're near any water or any drainage ditches or anything like that, I would put this knife up just for security purposes, i.e. be safe. Wouldn't want this pulling you to the bottom of the lake. You have no chance of getting back up with something like this. Now with the paper mache, the handles would just disintegrate and you would have the drilled out portion of the blade that would allow easy flow through for the water, and you'd be able to easily swim back to the top of the pond. Now, on the other hand, there is a couple positives to this knife. Okay? Number one, if you were ever lost in the woods and you couldn't find your way out, you needed a rescue team to find you, you could use this massive handle scale as a signal mirror. See here, I'll show you. See that? I'm showing you. See? I'm showing you. See how it signals the light right in there? You could use this for helicopters, and I would say probably 15 miles away, someone could see you using this handle scale as a mirror. Signal mirror. See that? Next, another thing that you could do in an engagement, i.e. battle situation, is you could use this as a striking impact weapon. Put this massive steel to your advantage, and there you go. You rock somebody's world with that. Hits to the chin, ribs, he's gone. So it does have a couple of pluses, as well as some negative points also. Okay, another thing I would like to see, I will also call Spyderco's owner on the phone later and talk to him about it, I have his number, is I would like to see jimping on that thumb ramp. Let me see if I can get you a close-up. Now here's this knife, you're holding it like this. I would like to see that thumb be able to bite right in there, right up into that thumb ramp. I'd like to see jimping up that spine. What I'd also like to see is one single jimp, just one jimp, across the front of the handle scale, just to give that index finger something to lock into. If they would put one jimp right here, you would be welded into this knife right here in this position. And plus it will knock off some of the poundage, the more material you cut off. So it might be something that Spyderco wants to think about. For me, dudes, there's just no possible way that I am going to walk around and have something this cumbersome and large on my body, i.e. my person. There's just no point to it. Do the benefits outweigh the stress? And in my opinion, no. So I'm going to sell this one on eBay. And the only reason I don't like selling it on eBay is because it's going to cost me $25 to ship this because of the weight alone. So the buyer is going to have to eat that fee. Large flat rate box. So when I get rid of this, I'm never going back to it again. It was something that I tried on a whim, and it just didn't work out for me. Ripped a hole in my pants pocket straight away. I dropped it in my pocket, landed right on the ground. My trousers got a hole in them, and it just didn't work out. My car keys fell through. I was also thinking about keeping this and maybe Duracoating the blade, but Duracoat would add 0.001 of an ounce, so I don't want to go down that route. Okay, dudes? Alright, guys, this is something you want to stay away from. Any of you guys in uniform, i.e. military, i.e. police officer, i.e. ambulance worker, i.e. fireman, i.e. waiter, you want to stay away from this here. And that's all I got, dudes. I'll catch you next time.